Welcome to Physics 2, Spring of 2021. This is going to be a quick orientation video to introduce you to how this course will be performed, since this will be an online course only. We never meet as a class. And so the first thing I want to point out is when you click on Instructor, you will find out that I will be your instructor, Mr. Riley. And one of the key things to note, since we do not meet as a class, is how are you going to get tutoring? Well, you can schedule to have a tutoring session with me. And please note that when you want a tutoring session, you need to contact me via email one day before so we can set up a time and a date. And at any time you have any questions, you can always send your questions to kriley@govstate.edu. Please make sure that you include the word physics in the title, so that way I will respond a lot quicker. Usually I check my emails once a day. Now, next thing to note is you will be going to this page whenever you click on the Blackboard. This is the announcement page, and whenever I have important announcements, I place it on the announcement page, and you should actually be getting an email message of this. And of course, because we have the COVID virus, we can't do anything at school. Now, a couple of things to note. I'm going to go through the syllabus, and if you go up here, here's the syllabus and orientation page. And one of the key things to note, I've got the syllabus here. Here it is right now. And the key thing I want you to know right now for this course is it is under construction. There are a lot of chapters or other materials that I need to update because this is an online course. What that basically means is I need to add more videos to replace the lectures that we're not going to have. But here's some of the key things. Riley is me, and pretty much this is straightforward. I want to get you to, you can read all this by yourself, all this blah 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 blah. Okay, here's the thing about the activities we're going to find out. In this course, you will have homework assignments, and you will have a midterm exam and a final exam. Now, because we actually don't meet on a specific date, you will have basically a week to finish each assignment. So when I start posting homework, you're going to notice that in the title of the homework, I'm going to put a date, and that will be the due date. When we have our exams, you will have 1 week to complete the exams. And I'll get into more of that shortly. Another thing I want to point out is this. In the reference here, it talks about this Coletti book. Now, technically, you can use any college physics textbook that you want. And the reason is they're pretty much all the same. So you don't have to have Coletti's because I'm not taking any problems from that. I'm not going to reference this textbook. So any textbook you can find will probably do. Now let's get down here. Okay, evaluation. Okay, so like I said, we're going to have about, I want to say about 10 homework assignments, and they will be posted on Blackboard, and I'll get into that in a second. And the key thing about these homework assignments is they will have questions, and you're going to have a sheet, basically scratch paper, where you're going to show your calculation. Now, not every problem requires a calculation, but those problems that do require a calculation, you must show your work. That means I need to see formulas. It needs to be legible. Another key thing to note is your homework assignment has to be in numerical order. And also I want your final answer placed in a box or circled somehow so I can easily find it. So the reason why I have you show your work is if you get a problem wrong on the homework assignment, you can still earn partial credit if I see, hey, you had the right formula, but you didn't do something. Maybe you didn't have the correct units or you didn't square something. You can still get partial credit. So please do that, because if you get it wrong and there's no work, then this is completely wrong. And each homework question is worth 1 point. Now we also have a midterm exam and a final exam. Here's what I want you to know about the exams. The exams will have 2 parts. One part is the closed book exam. Now this you will be taking online. So that means you'll have to click on to the exam question and you'll get a series of questions that are going to basically be multiple choice or true and false. And this type of test is testing stuff like concepts and other things like units. So what's the proper unit for, let's say, capacitance? It'd be the Faraday, and other things like that. So I will have a review sheet that will go over the closed book concepts that you need to learn for that part of the exam. So that's called the closed book part of the exam, multiple choice, true, false. Then there's going to be an open book part for the exam. You can consider this like a really long homework assignment. So there might be something like 15 problems that you have to do. You will treat it like a homework assignment. You're going to download it. You're going to go through, choose which questions you want to answer, but when you do answer your question, you will want to show your work, because once again, with the open book exam, you can earn partial credit. Now I will go over this again as we get closer to each exam. When we get to the final exam, this is not cumulative. The final exam begins with whatever chapter we left off with, but it works the same way. You will have a closed book portion. You'll go online. It will be a timed exam, okay, and put down your choices. Usually it's about 30 questions. Then there'll be an open book exam, which you download, you do at home, and then you basically upload your scratch paper to me. And we're going here, and I just like you to read this section about rules for homework assignment so you get an idea of what's important here. Once again, here's how you can contact me. So if you have any questions or anything like that. Oh, by the way, I just realized this should have physics 2143. I forgot to change that. Okay. So this is pretty much self-explanatory. I assume everyone can get to Blackboard. I should mention this. I should be receiving some type of letter from, I forget what they call it now. There's a department we have, so if anyone has any type of disability, they will send me a letter and they will tell me what requirements a student needs, like extra time or it's something else. But if at any time you have problems with lecture notes, videos, something like that, please let me know and I'll try to correct that for you. Now here is our chapter outline, and the key thing to note is this. Alright, the dates I'm giving you are for the Monday of that week. And technically, if this was a class, we'd be meeting on a Thursday. But to keep everything simple, I'm starting it on a Monday. Okay, and this gives you a good idea of what we're doing and all this. But the key thing to note is March 8th, we will be having our midterm lecture exam. So this entire week, sometime during this week, you have to do the closed book portion of the exam, which you do online, and it will be timed, and it's multiple choice, true, false. You will be doing the open book portion of the exam, which is kind of like a homework problem. By the way, the open book portion of the exam is also multiple choice. And then after that, you turn that in. Then we go through these chapters, and we do this, and then we have our final exam. This week we do the same thing. One thing to note is because of COVID, we do not have a spring break this year, so school is going to end early by 1 week. Okay, then this is all this stuff here, tile there. Okay, so hopefully you understand that. If you don't, always send me an email. Now, since this is under construction, I want to point out some of the other stuff here, but here's what's going to happen. Most of this stuff here, though the notes in that are set up for the course, I need to add more material. So what's going to happen is this. You will know if a chapter folder is updated because it will say Spring 2021. And the question is, hey, what's in these folders? Well, right now, you got like a document. Okay, that doesn't do you too much good. So here's what I want to show you, give you a better idea. This is for the fall semester. So when we had the fall semester, this is what I did. If you went to the lecture notes, and let's say you go to chapter 5 material, now you have like the lecture note, like, hey, blah, 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 theory and all that. But I also sometimes have more example documents, like more example problems, okay? But also at times I will have videos, okay? Usually the videos are designed, they're to highlight really problems that you'll find in the homework assignments. Okay, so so that's what I'll be doing as we go through this semester. I'll be updating each one of these chapter folders. The only thing is, it'll take me time, and I'm in the process of moving into a new house. So, but anything that's due to my fault is not going to cost you. And so each chapter is going to be like that, blah, blah, blah. Okay. What else we have in course content is we have homework assignments and we have homework solutions. Once again, this isn't set up yet, so let me show you. Let me get out of this here. I don't want that there. Let's go here, and let me just show you for the fall semester basically what we were doing. So in the homework assignment, let's say you go look at something like this. Here, let's look at number 6. Here's homework number 6. All right, now here's what I want to show you. So this is homework number 6. What will happen is these are assignments. Now I have two versions. I have one that's a PDF and one that's a Word document. I only need one version, okay? I put the two versions because some students like one type of version, some students like another type. But let's say that this was your homework assignment. Let's say this is what you'd be looking at. You'd have something like this. It'd have a question and a da-da-da, whatever. Write out, your answer. Now, these are the questions. You do not have to send me the questions again when you submit your work. What I want to see is scratch paper showing me how you came up with your answers. So that's all you have to do. So when you go back to this, there should be a way for you, I can't really do because I haven't done anything, but there'll be a way for you to attach the work that you've done, the scratch paper work, and once I receive that, I'll eventually go ahead and grade it. Now, the question is how are you going to submit this? Well, there's several ways of doing this. Some people have, if they have a PDF, they download the PDF document, they may have a program that will allow them to write on the PDF document, or a lot of people, since you're doing scratch paper, if you can't do it like on a PDF document, then you can always take a sheet of scratch paper, you go problem 1, write out nice and neatly how you did your problem, okay? Put a box or a circle around your answer, then go to the next problem, and so on. When you are done, then what you want to do is either scan that paper, or nowadays you can use your phone, and there's lots of apps that will allow you to take pictures or convert a picture into a PDF document. Two very famous ones I want to say is a CSM Cam scanner, I believe, and the other one is Office Lens. I give a reference to them somewhere. Okay, but that's what will happen. Now, the homework in this case was due on Friday by this time, okay, by 11:45. So that's what I was saying. When you're given a homework assignment, somewhere like in the title, I said in the title, but here they'll be giving you a date as to when the homework is due. So if you are late with a homework assignment, you're going to definitely lose 1 point. Okay, and sometimes after homework assignments submitted, I discover that maybe the entire class or a good portion of the class has made a mistake, or they had a difficult time with a certain problem. I may include a video to kind of explain how you should have done that problem. Okay, as I start to lose my voice. Okay, course content. So there's your homework. Okay, we'll get in there. By the way, if at any time you're not able to submit the homework assignment via the submission link, you can always email it to me, but never submit more than one homework assignment at a time. Don't bunch them all together. Don't take a homework assignment, mix it with a lab assignment. Okay. Now, homework solution. Here's what will happen. Once you've turned in something to me, and I've got basically past the deadline date, I will post the solution. So the solution will be given something like this. It'll be my explanation. Hopefully you'll understand my explanation. If you don't, you can always send me an email asking for clarification. Sometimes I include a video to clarify something. Then let's see, what else would we have? Then when it comes time for the exams, before we actually do the exam, a couple weeks before, I will have review sheets. Okay, so you'll want to look for that, because in the review sheet I give you important information. Let's just look at this one here. So in Physics 1, I gave you a bunch of units and symbols to know. And then there's concepts that are mentioned here, stuff like that. And I tell you what chapter and information like that. So that was the closed book portion. Open book portion, very important. In the open book portion, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you which homework assignments you should be looking at. Or what chapter problems, examples you should be looking at, and what formulas you might need to use. Because when you're going to study for the open book portion of the exam, the problems that you will have on the exams will be related to these types of questions. Please note, in homework assignments and in exams, when I say something's like something else, like, hey, this is question number blah blah blah, it's similar to example whatever 3, all that means really is don't expect it to be, in a sense, the very same type of problem. So as an example, if someone's pushing a crate to the right, I may have someone pushing a crate to the left, or I may have someone pushing a crate downwards. The key thing is that the same concepts and formulas, roughly, are what you need to know how to use. And let's go here, and then of course when it comes time to have your exams, you'll discover, like, this is the final open book. So I have, on this example here, I had a PDF document. So like, you download it, but what you'll submit with this is, when you're ready to submit it, is you're going to submit one of the Scantron forms, okay, either a PDF version or the Word document version, with your scratch paper in order to get full credit. Closed book is just, you're going to click on it and you're going to go to online. Let me just say, I think you can do it right here real quick. It says something like this: hey, let's ready, begin, and I have information in there. And then you go, hey, begin, and then it gives you more test information. And then you start doing something like this. And then when you're done, you just say, hey, I'm done, boom. And it will give you a grade, okay? So that's pretty much it. I've got to say this: if you've never had physics before, if you have questions, you need to contact me. I'm willing to help you, okay, but I can't help you unless you tell me that you don't understand something. And please don't wait on like the night before when something's due, because you may not be the only person, and I may have other people, or I may not have the time to do it. So try to make time before a due date to ask me questions if you want clarification. So hopefully you will enjoy the course, and like I said, just remember this is under construction. Whenever I update stuff, I'll be posting it in the announcement page. Oh, one other thing to note, there will be my grades, which is something here, which right now has nothing because I haven't put anything on here for you guys. If I go to Grade Center, let me just see real quick. Grade Center here, full Grade Center, and then it'll be like da 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 da. Okay, and then da da da, and there'll be stuff to total. Do not pay attention to these totals here because they're counting everything. And what's going to happen is I'm going to put in points sometimes, like what was your percentage on an exam, or how many points did you get on an exam, and Blackboard will simply add up all the points. So I will be giving you your course grade and that throughout the semester. So I hope you enjoyed the course, and got any other questions, always email me. Be sure to include physics in the subject line.